Welcome to today's music lesson. Today we're going to learn about 3 different ways that we can listen to music. These 3 ways are listed on your screen. They're sensuous listening, expressive listening, and purely musical listening. These ideas were written down by Aaron Copland in his book, What to Listen For in Music. Now there are many ways to listen to music, more than just 3. You might listen to music just sort of lightly as you're passing by, if you hear music on the street corner or in the marketplace. You might listen a little bit more seriously in church or at home. And maybe you're filled with great awe as you listen in a huge concert hall or a grand auditorium. But if we can divide our listening into these 3 ideas, sensuous, expressive, and purely musical, it will help us to understand some things behind the music. So let's begin with the sensuous plane of listening. Now, sensuous is a word that we don't use very much anymore, but if you look at the first 4 letters, it almost looks like the word sense. Now, think about your sense of touch. It's how you feel things. You use your fingers and your skin to feel things. Sensuous listening has to do with how we feel when we listen to music. So you may hear a piece of music that makes you glad or happy. That's sensuous listening. You may listen to another piece of music that makes you feel gloomy or sad. That's also sensuous listening. It has to do with how we feel when we listen to a certain piece of music. The next type of listening is expressive listening. And expressive listening has to do with what the composer was trying to communicate through his music. So maybe the music is a military march meant for soldiers to march to. Or maybe it's a dance, and you hear the dance rhythms and want to dance through the music. Maybe the music tells the story of a great battle or a fun fairy tale. Whatever the case, expressive listening has to do with communication. So for expressive listening, I'm going to draw a little thought bubble and put some lines inside of it to remind us that there are ideas in the music that the composer wants to communicate. Finally, there's purely musical listening. And purely musical listening has to do with the musical elements of melody and harmony and texture and form, all the things that make music music. It's really the technical side of listening. So, quick review. Sensuous listening has to do with how we feel when we listen to music. Expressive listening has to do with the ideas or the messages, the communication in the music. And finally, purely musical listening deals with the notes and the rhythms and the harmonies. We'll learn more about these 3 types of listening in your lesson today.